want to create some evidence how they make the clouds come in my direction and towards the sun. So the sun is through the trees right here, up there. Look at these clouds. If I stand up at the bottom, watch how I keep coming towards. That's not normal. All of those clouds are forming together and they coming directly to the sun. This is what they do. And then they expect me to fight it. They sit there and they'll block out the sun this way too. All these clouds, you mean to tell me, look all across the land over there, all across, and they forming just to block the sun. Not even just that, they're still trying to make little demonic symbols and stuff inside the clouds. Let me see. Yeah, they kind of like fading out now. They were doing a lot of demonic stuff. I was laying here in the sun and the shade, actually just relaxing. And before I got up, I was like, hold on, let me go use the bathroom. I was gonna switch my location. And as I was going to the bathroom, I hear somebody yell like a chicken, like bark, bark. So I was so I was like, yeah, okay. That type of stuff don't bother me because that just showed me how immature these people are. They have people sit around and they say their little stuff and try to make you feel some kind of way about what they're doing to you because you're not paying it any mind. But this is what I'm saying. Look, now it's dissolving because they probably know I'm calling this stuff out too. But this is what they do. They send the clouds directly towards the sun, and they have people follow me. Follow me. So they locate their GPS on their phone will mark the location where I'm at, and they can direct it. And I just gotta catch it. If they keep doing it, I'm gonna show it. So if I walk in a circle, the clouds will form a circle, like no joke. See, they still making little shapes though, like some little, like kind of like demonic stuff. And I already spoke on that, but they think nobody can stop them, so they gonna keep doing whatever they doing until it stop. I'm not tripping off them stopping because I already know that's gonna be stopped. You know, you do something for so long and you've been getting away with it. What are you gonna do? You gonna keep doing it? So that's not a secret. I just gotta expose the truth of what they really doing, how they corrupting the things around us and using it against us, and then turn around and make it seem like people are crazy. And I'm not even playing. I already made my statement. I ain't gonna keep warning anybody. I said, for all the ones that want to keep playing games, wait your turn. That's exactly what I meant too. So wait your turn. Sit back and wait and enjoy the whatever little show that you fucking think it is. But I tell you what, anybody involved, and you continue to play those little games, you're gonna get your issue too. That's a promise. I'm not out here to be trying to take control of anything. This is about balance. And you got people out here running rampant and just putting fear in people that's scared to speak up and everything. So we got, you got the ones that like me doing the same thing, speaking up on certain stuff that should be spoken up on. Cause if no one speak up on it, they gonna keep doing the same thing. And if you have spiritual gifts, keep standing on your business, man. Don't be worried about what these people doing or what they saying. Don't worry about none of that. Cause I'm a living witness of this. Ain't nobody touch me. There's been a lot of a lot of talk, people saying a whole bunch of stuff around me. I'm not concerned with that because, like I said, a lot of people attempt on my life so many times. It don't even matter to me. I know you're gonna try to do something, but it ain't done. So no matter what somebody claim, it's gonna be thousands of more people that's gonna keep claiming that they're gonna do something, but that's not the thing. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about my work that I'm doing. If something really was gonna happen, then it would have happened by now. So I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna keep leveling up. I'm gonna keep helping the people that need help, and that's just what it is. You could talk about somebody being homeless. Well, people created that for me, so I'm not concerned about that either. Meanwhile, I got spiritual powers in the physical that I can use. So I ain't gonna lie, I would prefer that more than anything, more than what people value out here, because none of that stuff, the stuff they value, can be gone in a snap of a finger. So I'm not concerned about that. What you value in your life, these ones that's so corrupt, it's nothing, because it could be taken so easy. Yeah, spiritual powers can be taken too, but at the same time, if you treating things well, then I mean, all you can do is level up, basically. But if you're abusing your abilities on this land, your position of a job or whatever, that's still a position that you need to hold up. So when your time comes, you're gonna get your issue too. And that's whoever. I'm just not talking out the side of my neck. I've been on this walk for a while now, and I've seen so much, and so many people try to come at me, man. So many people try to attempt to do something to me. I'm not concerned with that. Cause I already see what this is really about. And can't do anything. Only if you allow them to do it, then they can do it. Other than that, all they can do is play around in the physical form, meaning in the system that was created to be manipulated. They got inside the system and they created what fits for them. So they made stuff work for them. That's how they was able to manipulate it. That's it. Other than that, they ain't really hitting on anything. For all the ones that they could overly concerned, man, I'd be afraid to lose anything. Don't pay attention to that. You can lose stuff any day. These cars not meant to last every day. Everything that's made is not meant to last. So when you achieve certain things in life, like a spiritual gift and more, those are the true achievements in life. Not this other stuff that how to try to create distractions on TV and everything. How people all caught up in their head about stuff. No, it's to the point I don't even concern myself with a lot of the stuff that other people do. I don't look down on it, because at some point I was involved in that kind of stuff, meaning like partying and stuff. But that was a stage to me in my life. So I don't look down at other people's situation, but at the same time, I'm not going to look back at it either, because I'm not involved in it. I'm not associated with it. I don't even see that type of stuff no more. So I'm not concerned with that either. I know what I need to do. That's my focus. But yeah, you see how it's trying to clear up. It's not completely coming towards the sun. They just stopped doing this stuff. And I'm glad I recorded it, because it kept doing it. And it was doing it while I was taking a nap too. Don't pay me no mind, but I kind of laid out in the grass.
house and enjoying nature where I truly belong for real. I don't know, man. I'm not afraid though. I'm not afraid to stand up to these people. I'm not afraid to die neither. I done lived so many different lives, even though I wasn't aware of it at one point. But it's not the fact of you dying; it's the fact of you creating something that's going to continue the legacy of the divine. If you don't have people standing up and correcting things, and they just want to follow their own route and live their life how they want to live it, then how things are going to get correct? That's the question. Everybody just gonna be looking around at each other and hoping for something to happen, but at the same time, you need the ones that's willing to step up to step up. If it's an issue, you need to speak up on it. Don't worry about what somebody gonna say or do or whatever, because at the end of the day, you'll be protected. But are you really willing? Is the question. Sometimes it's hard to jump out that window and just be like, let me see if I can actually land on my feet or something. Nah, take the chance. It don't matter what stage you are in life. I'm not focused on good and bad. I'm focused on right and wrong. Because the stuff that's being considered bad can be used against the ones that are considered wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't focus on that. I focus on, balance, right and wrong. If you use that as your compass, right and wrong, it'll take you a good distance in life. Make you more aware of stuff instead of trying to block it out and then living your life based off of other people and their opinions when really they was wrong the whole time in the first place. And then you can't blame them because at the end of the day, what? You're accountable for yourself, whether you accept it or not. All of this is breaking up, man. This is wild. They probably know I exposed it, and I don't care. I'm gonna keep on exposing it. These people, I sat there, man. I try to pull my device out my bag. They had people monitoring me wherever I walk throughout the town, and I'm watching them looking back. The clouds is like keep lining up with me, like following me through the town. So I'm like, hold up, I know I ain't tripping. Then I asked God about it, and that's what they were doing. They were just trying to create a narrative like I'm this person that is demonic and some bad omen or something. That ain't me. I'm not concerned about people's opinions because the ones that know me, even though they probably can't do anything, they know that I'm not about that. But they not gonna say too much neither because they gotta be concerned about their life and their family or whatever. And I respect that. End of the day, they can't fuck with me, so I'm not worried about them. They know that. That's why they got to be petty and try to get so many people involved in these companies and these organizations and businesses involved. And a lot of these places don't even know what's going on. They just thinking that they're going to take somebody out and get away with all the weird stuff that they're doing. But that's not the case. And it kind of like pisses me off because it's like it goes to show you how people really are out here. There's so many people wearing a mask and trying to be or look like something that they're not, but really they like that term demon time, man. Don't use that stupid shit, man. Because if that's not what you represent, don't say that. That's inviting stuff to you if you think about it. If you ain't on that type of time, stop saying that because you open a door, a portal for something to come into you. When you start acting crazy and doing stuff that you usually don't do, it's because you're inviting that stuff. Don't be scared of these people, man. Yeah, they can manipulate a lot of stuff around you. I'm living through this, man. I done seen so much. I ain't gonna lie. At one point, it would put you in your mind in the beginning. For me, I could have snapped on them. I seen people literally scratching my car. They was sending people back to back doing stuff like that, messing up my vehicles, doing little weird stuff to me, man. And God was putting the energy over me to just observe it and to think of it from a different standpoint because it was just overwhelming. The amount of people they were using to come around me and do this stuff. This is like some movie stuff. But then I had to realize way before I even saw that who I was in the spirit. I didn't know that. They already knew that. So then it made sense why they was going so hard on me because they don't need me to see it. They want to keep me distracted, worried about everything because that's what used to work for most of these people that they conquered. They kept them in their head. That's one of their tactics. And keep you worried. You can't get this, you can't do that, and they use it against you to try to manipulate you back into the same energy. But this the thing though. If we live in to die, what is more valuable here? You giving in and just living whatever life that they choose and they using you some kind of way and just living through it like that. Or you standing for what's right and just standing on it. Never come with it. At the end of the day, when I leave this earth, I know that I did what was right. I changed a lot. I'm changing a lot. So this really ain't just for me. This is for the next coming. We always talk about change, but at the same time, it's just a bunch of talk. Don't get me wrong. There's people out there that's doing stuff secretly, and they gotta move how they move, but it's not enough people, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even really have conversations like that with people out here because if you if you're not building for yourself, like with your mind and everything, then it ain't nothing I can talk about with you. I don't want to hear nothing about having fun, and that's not life to me. That's just a necessity in this life. But if you're not fixing yourself to be upright and aligned so you can achieve more to life spiritually, then nah, man. It ain't for me. I don't hate anybody. I just gotta correct that because a lot of people think because you're a certain way or you don't communicate with them a certain way that you're uptight or whatever. No, that's not the case. But I just have my strong boundaries. You're not going to bait me into recreational conversations. I don't care for that stuff. That's talking for nothing. For real, if I want to do that, I'll just talk to my damn soul, talk to God, and figure out stuff that it's recreational, but at the same time, I'm making sense and stuff. I'm not just talking. I'm not gossiping and stuff. Not gaining anything from that. And I'm not talking about in no weird way that people say gaining, because a lot of people that's what they do. They gossip it, and maybe they was paid for that, paid to do it, or whatever. I don't know. I ain't expect to get on here and talk for real. I was sitting here laid out in the grass. Then I see that they was back on the BS. Because this morning, it was still going through the night. They was pushing the clouds over me. And then when I woke up, it was still going. Then it stopped. So I'm like, all right, that's it. All of a sudden, I get to the park where I like to go. Get settled in. I was normal. So I get ready to go to the bathroom. I look and I was like, oh, here we go. And so somebody assumed that I'm just trying to like get away from it because they doing all this type of stuff, creating these little weird like horns and stuff. So I go towards the little the bathroom porta potty, and I heard somebody making a little chicken sound, and that's funny to me, man. That's not hurt my feelings. That just showed me how petty you is. Like, man, you're not teaching anything. You're not proving anything to me. You're not hurting my feelings. It just showed me how somebody that's why I say it's a difference between being a man and a male and a female and a woman. You have to achieve that. It ain't no fucking label like, oh, I get to a certain age now. No, that's a bullshit. That's not true. Just like the travel days, you had to achieve it. It wasn't given. You ain't just make yourself a woman or a man just because of your age. No, you had to do certain things to prove yourself so you can be aligned to be a man or woman. That's why stuff is running so rampant and wrong out here because the goddess is wrong. That's all it is. The goddess is all wrong. But the more I double down on what I say and what I'm doing, the harder it gets. But not it gets harder with the petty stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. But overall, I know I'm protected. I sleep good every night. I don't worry about anything. People can come around me and everything. I'm not worried. I'm gonna go to sleep. If I'm guided to stay up, I'm gonna stay up too. Speaking on that, it was a little couple that came around, and I felt like I had to stay up, so I stayed up. They tried to challenge me, so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So they came around me just to try to challenge me, send them on their way. Then they pop back up over here way on the other side of town, like miles away, like 2 miles away. Popped up over here this morning, tried to do the same thing, sent them on their way. So I'll just be talking, just we be talking, man. I talked to God, and He told me, I was like, what is this, like hundreds of people? Because I had it wrong. He was like, nah, it's more than that. When they be doing that stuff, trying to suppress my gift, and I be pushing through, and I be moving these clouds. When I move the clouds, man, I move from miles and clear the sky. This is not even no game. That's why they after me so strong. They've been trying to study me. They know that I can blow the wind. They know I could do some stuff. So I'm not concerned about, not worried about what you think you're gonna do. Past that stage. I'm way past that. But they just try to play games and try to trigger you so that you can go back into an energy where they can like manipulate and do stuff that they used to do. That's why it's important to keep your vibration high, because if you fall back into that energy of being on the level they on, then they can attack you. Even if sometimes you may feel something, man, you gotta stay on your prayer games and everything else. Because when I feel something, I don't play. As soon as I feel it. But sometimes this stuff don't work right away. They could say it and then it builds up. That's why they gotta have so many coming around you and keep doing it, because they know that it has to reach a certain point then it might stick for a little while. But nah, I got to a point now, man. I know how to get this shit up, and I alchemize it quick. They know that. They know they can't mess with me. That's why they gotta do little kid games and follow me around and have people cut the grass around me at random times and just stupid stuff like that, man. Like, I get it, people gotta cut the grass, and I don't look at everything as gang stalking and that. So I know how to see through it. But I ain't stupid neither, because my energy don't lie. When you got the wrong intentions and you around me, I'ma feel it. I don't care what you say, how you dressed, what vehicle you drive, where you work at. It don't matter. Man, that stuff don't matter to me. I'ma see through it. I'ma feel it. Because as much as I want to believe what you saying, it's like Spider-Man when when his senses go off and he feels so irritated. That shit is something like that, man. you gotta get away from that shit. Like, nah, serious. Stand on business, man. Don't worry about these people. They scared. They gotta show you that they're in control. Really, that's not the case. That's why they gotta force it on you. Anybody gotta force something on you, they don't have power like they think they do. Trust me. That's why they gotta convince you. You got power like that, why you running around chasing people down? They got me out this motherfucker, man. Homeless. Homeless and trying to figure out stuff so I can fix my situation, which I'm not worried. That's dead. Stick a fork in that. Trust me. Anyway, had me running around homeless. And I just been following God in my, in the universe. I'm gonna say that because God got a team, so I can't just say just God. And we gotta make sure that we mindful of that because you got ancestors too. Everybody has ancestors and they work with God. So I know personally God worked with me, like definitely, always with me. Not just him, but mainly. Nah, man. I ain't did a video in a long time. I feel like I just like let me just say something. I was just gonna record the clouds as evidence, as proof. Because a lot of people can believe something, but when you actually see it, then it's like, oh man, what the heck? And nothing like actually seeing something. Now, depending on the person, yeah, I might accept their credit on what they say, 100%, because that's me. But when you actually see something they say, it's like, ain't denying. I ain't got to think about it. It's good to have evidence. These people been doing this stuff for so long, man. It's been going on for too long. And they've been getting away with it because they've been hiding in these different types of jobs and stuff where they can actually manipulate stuff. It seemed like every time I got to a point where I thought I was going to be out of this situation, I'm right back into something else because that's how big it is. And that's how big it was too, because a lot of this stuff been crumbled already. A lot of people don't want nothing to do with it no more because they realized that they made a big mistake. But you're going to have the ones that double down like, they don't know no better. That's the best way to put it. They don't know any better. They think that whatever they say or do is right. And regardless, they're going to make it do it. So, okay. That makes two of us then. So, let the best side win. If we're going to consider this a challenge then, because I usually don't do that competition stuff. But this right here, when it come to my work, this is competition. I'm going to stand on my business. Yeah, that's what that is. You got different types of people out there. I had an encounter with a woman, and you know, it's all love, man. I don't even take to heart too much of what people be saying most of the time. It make me think, but I don't hold that stuff too much. She came up to me because she seen me. She was like, "What are you, homeless or something?" And we had to talk. She was like, "Well," she was talking about my shoes. She was like, "Well, you got those on your feet, this and that." Well, some Pumas. And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, God makes sure that I have." You know what I'm saying? Because it's true. Just because they doing this to me, it don't mean that I wasn't gonna get anything or wasn't gonna receive it. It was an inconvenience and stuff. So every time I try to explain me, give her a point of view of me, she kept trying to like tell me about myself. So I found myself like interrupting her like a few times, and not to be disrespectful, but you're not gonna tell my story to me. So I had to like step in and like hold up, hold up, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Hold up, because I'm trying to keep the conversation open, but I'm not accepting no disrespect. So if it gets to a point where it's disrespect, then I'm gonna shut it down completely, and I'm not gonna talk to you, and you got to go or something. But it didn't get to that point. We actually had a decent conversation. She said she was atheist and she don't believe in God. I was like, well, listen, it's not just about religion. God had to use different avenues to pull people together because everybody had their own mind. So it had to be different ways to reach people. Now, yet the whole point of all of this is not about the religion. It's about you reaching your higher self. That's the point. And it was some other stuff said which is not important, but I corrected her on that too. I was like, I'm sure of my situation. I was like, don't look at this homeless situation and think that, look down at me. I'm not waving my rank or my spiritual rank or anything. I'm not waving that stuff around like I'm Mr. Badass. I'm not, no, that's not, I'm still someone that's down to earth and that's looking at every situation where I could actually be some type of assistance if they allow me to, if they accept it first. But after addressing some stuff to her and giving her my side, my principles, not my perspective, because that they became principles now. She looked at me. She was like, "Well, I don't believe in God, but I believe in you." And that I didn't even know what to say, man. I'm gonna be honest to you, because I don't look at myself like I'm above anybody or I want you to worship me. Nah, I don't care about that. That's weird. I just want you to be better for yourself. That's my attitude. I don't want you to align yourself with me and no, you're doing it wrong. And I don't, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of being, should I say. I want people to actually find themselves so they can get on their path right. I ain't no hater, I ain't no blocker, I ain't none of that. And a simple conversation can change the trajectory of anything. That proved it right there. It's a woman that assumed some stuff about me, and she don't believe in God. I'll tell you what she did say though. She came up to me, and when I mentioned God, she was like, "See, y'all have always been talking about God coming back and this and that." I was like, "Hold up, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there, because that's disrespectful." But I took it right because that's her perspective. I can't get mad at her because that's her perspective. I can't get mad at her because she learned different. Maybe she wasn't exposed to certain stuff to help her advance her mind to see things differently. So now I got to be that representative to plant that seed, not be the one to correct her and be sassy and all that weird stuff. No, I had to be the one to reestablish something in her mind, I don't have to force anything on, anyone. If you hear me speak, if I'm talking to you a certain way, it's proof itself. I don't have to run circles around your head and make you believe anything. It's not my goal. My goal is to plant a seed, and you have to water that. You won't have to nurture that, and accept it so that it works for you on your path. That's for me. That's my goal. I'm not out here trying to make somebody believe, and you have to worship me. No, that's not. God said we ain't moving like that. That's not what it is. If you choose to do something different outside of the program, then that's you. But don't forget, you accept everything that comes with your path too. That's what that is. Don't blame anybody. And please be mindful of the people that you associate with, because that popularity stuff is overrated. Just because you're popular don't mean that you're on the right path. Just because you have all this luxury doesn't mean you're on the right path, man. That's the biggest deception ever. And that's how a lot of people got tricked in these demonic contracts. But now they got to go and attack people regardless if they don't want to, because they signed some stuff that now they fear if they don't do it, something's going to happen. And that's the truth. I feel bad for some of these people because they don't want to do it, but they made a mistake. But then you got some that really don't care. They was all for it, so they head first, and that don't matter neither because they got an issue coming too. Now, it's best for you to hold yourself accountable, because don't wait around till the time comes where shit start falling apart, and now you want to recognize what's going on. No, you have to take accountability for yourself and make sense of the situation. Even if you're in a worse situation, you're in prison. It doesn't matter where you at in life. The best thing you can do is get right with yourself first, and then get right with God. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't gonna lie to you. Get right with yourself. People always saying put God first, but you gotta put yourself first, because how you gonna be something for anybody if you haven't even built yourself up to a certain point where you hold yourself accountable, you see things correctly, but you're putting God first, and God's with that. But at the same time, He wrote for you to put yourself first so that you can put your everything that you want and need in alignment. You should never put somebody before you first. Now, it's different when we say the kids. Yeah, of course. Duh, but at the same time, it's like you still have to put yourself first, because you got to show up every day for kids. You got to show up every day for yourself. You got to show up every day for God. So how can you put anything or anybody before you first? You have to put yourself first. That's why so many people confused. They believe in God, they believe in this and that, but at the same time, they don't believe in themselves. I ain't even trying to preach, man. I'm just being honest. I see everything for what it is, and I don't, like I said, I don't communicate too much with a lot of people. I'm very courteous, respectful, but at the same time, I know my limits. There's just so many different ways that you got people out here that energy harvest, and they might not even know it. They're just used to feeling certain things, and they tap into that energy and know how to pull on it. So they might not know what they're doing. That's true too. A lot of people know what they're doing, so you just got to be mindful. Don't entertain stuff that's not bringing growth to you. And that's how you show people how to show up for themselves too. If everybody just entertaining whatever, then who's going to be the adult of the situation? I mean, the real adult. You got people that know the Bible, front and back, but they're not living it. Just because you know something don't mean that you living it. It's embedded in me. I take it serious. I didn't try to just be better than the next person. When I decided to not drink, not smoke, no drugs, no meat, being celibate. It wasn't about the next person. It was about me. It's about what I had to do. How am I going to be my better self? And I'm dealing with distractions. That's distractions, regardless of how you may look at it. I mean, if you could manage it, then cool. But for me and my path, I prefer not to be, accepting anything that can put me in a predicament where I need something outside of me. Because eventually it's going to happen. And if you're being attacked and your money get attacked, and now you had built up all these different small addictions or big addictions and stuff like that, now you got an issue. Because now you're going to have to face the fact of everything. Now you're going to have to retrain your brain. I eliminated all of that because I seen what was coming. That's the best way to discipline yourself, though. You can't really say you discipline if you can't handle eliminating certain stuff. I ain't saying it have to just be for good, but it's the test. It's testing our strength. We can say what we are all day, but that don't mean that we're gonna follow through in the physical. Talking is one thing, doing is another. I'm sure for myself, and now I ain't gotta talk. You're gonna see this. And like I said, I'm not living it for anyone else. This was my story. But at the same time, it shows that if you listen to what I'm saying, if you ever have a conversation with me, if you ever hear anything that I speak on, you're going to see how dedicated I am about stuff. You're going to hear it. That put me in that energy where I didn't have to worry about no distractions at all. Because, typically if you smoke, you're doing certain stuff, it comes with other stuff. It always do. It comes with that friend that somehow you became a friend because of maybe what you was involved in or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm a natural problem solver, so once I see certain stuff, I gotta get to it. I gotta get to it. I need to know. I need to fix it. I don't want to worry about anything. And that's the best way to find yourself. Because now can no one tell you about yourself because you remove all distractions, temptations, all of that is gone. So when somebody try to address you anything more than where you are, you can easily break that down. easily. You don't have to be in your head long. You don't have to feel. And if someone's disrespecting you, saying anything out of order, then you already know it's time to go. Because to be honest, I don't care who it is, how long you've been with them, or anything. If disrespect is in play, it ain't nothing to be played with. If someone say they love you, then they shouldn't be disrespecting you. That's just simple, man. Why are we in relationships and claiming that we in love and being disrespected or any type of shit before them? It don't matter. No yelling, no nothing. It shouldn't be any of that. Because if you truly care, you love somebody, then you should have that kind of respect to sit there and listen and actually invest your time in to have a conversation to show how much that you care. Not trying to drill somebody or force somebody to believe or feel something. That's weird, man. That's showing how where your heart is. You gotta be like that. That's showing where you at. That's all. I mean, you got some growing to do. That's all. It ain't even no shade. But don't blame somebody else because of your actions. Because at the end of the day, we all gotta hold ourselves accountable if we want change. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it ain't easy, but at the same time, we go through challenges by stepping out the door every day just to get to work, just to get across town. Why not challenge yourself first in your mind when you have your free time? You invest yourself in so many others and things outside of yourself. It's time to start investing in your mind. That's the true value. No one's going to appreciate you more than you. And when you appreciate yourself and show that your true value stands, where is that? You're going to see it all around you. Of course, it's going to be haters. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the people that see, respect, and they honor that. They see their self-value. They see your morals. I'm not talking about your tattoos or none of that. Because anybody that's focused on those things, man, they're lost. Because at the same time, those be the ones that people try to condemn. God loved them damn near the most. I'm going to say that. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. Because those be the ones who be having the purest hearts. They're not the biggest critics of everything or none of that. Run around here, you talk about God, this and that, and then you trying to be a critic about everything and criticizing people. It don't make any sense. And it's funny to me because I got a strong connection with God, so when somebody try to use those words against me, like they know, I let them fly with it, man, because I know the truth. I don't need to argue with you. I don't need to get myself in your conversation and make you feel good about what you're saying because apparently you don't feel good. You don't need to tell anybody that. If you truly have a connection with God, then you should know what to do. Period. You should know how to carry yourself if that's really true. Because I'm going to know when I get around you, I'm going to know if you truly have a connection. Because there's certain stuff that you ain't going to be doing, you ain't going to be saying, period. I ain't saying be perfect, but I know. And I ain't even got to tell you. I'll be like, oh, yep, and that's another one. Scratch that off the list. I just feel like I probably just needed to say something. Somebody need to hear something out here. And I think that's what it is. Nothing really is a mistake anymore. mistakenly take pictures sometimes of stuff that don't make any sense, and then find out it's actually a reading. So everything has a purpose. You just gotta take the time to realize that everything has a purpose. I want to say this though, the emotion of like experiences. It's meant for you to experience stuff so you can elevate yourself, so you can toughen your skin for the next challenge to level up. Don't get caught up in the past challenges and what somebody did to you and how long it happened. Man, that stuff is a distraction. If you truly about being better for yourself, then focus on that. Focus on your achievements. That's the motivation. What did you achieve? How do you feel? Do you feel the same? Those things you need to focus on. Even if you don't get, you know, appreciation or, you know, people clapping for you for doing better for yourself. You know what you need to do for yourself. You should be your biggest fan. And that's how I became. Whether somebody cheered me on or not, it doesn't matter. I know what I'm doing. God know what I'm doing. Why do I need somebody else to give me approval? That's saying that I don't know what I'm doing then. Basically. Yeah, you want people to feel happy for you, but if it's not meant for them to be happy for you, then don't worry about it. Don't focus on it. Maybe it's meant for you to go through that experience so you don't have to worry about people and their opinions and whatnot. Make yourself tougher. That's how I see everything. All of this is experiences. That's all it is. And how you choose to entertain or assess or however you want to address it can build you up or break you down. Just like when you work out, man, it hurts. It hurts to get them muscles and toning and everything that you want. Same thing with like building your mind. It hurts. That's the truth of growth, man. People don't want to accept that though. Growth doesn't always feel good. You gotta go through all them growing pains of removing stuff from out of your mind and how you view and saw it for so long, man. But at the end of the day, when you realize that, okay, I'm doing the right thing for me. I know what I'm doing regardless of if someone that supports me or not. That's all that matters. You're taking your power back from everybody that's been taking your power. That's exactly what that is. Nowadays, there's so many people that just focus on the norm. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel out of place sometimes because I be elevating so much every day. I keep my mind going. I might do like a little bit on social media, but I don't watch TV. I don't do anything. I'm more connected. I'm like working. I'm out here working. All the stuff I've been doing, I've been working hard. And I really mean that. When I say I be out here working every day, it's just not where everybody else expect work. This is on a whole nother level. And the same ones that got so much to say, the crazy part about it is what I do is it helps them too. But you know, I'm not holding on to that. Because it wasn't, they just in the way. It wasn't solely for them. say. 'Cause we don't never know what type of calling that somebody might have over their life. And we start placing ourselves above other people and then realize down the line that, oh man, I've been saying this and that, and now this person is this. You shouldn't even want to be in the energy of being better than the next person. You shouldn't even want to accept that. You should just want to be a better version of yourself. That's it. That's the challenge. Everything else is going to interfere with your feelings incorrectly because it shouldn't be a challenge against another person. Your goal should be set on spiritual growth and just being better overall, man. And when I say spiritual, it's everything is spiritual. That's for the people that are in different religions. And some know and some don't. You know, spirituality is like, it doesn't have a religion connected to it. And God's staying with me on my choice. So, yeah, I have a cross in me. My birthright is priesthood. But like I explained in the post, you don't supposed to do the norm of a priest. But I still stand on morals. Yeah, I might cuss, but I don't curse. It's a difference. You got people out here that actually are cursing people. They come off so holy and they dress a certain way, but really they the ones doing spells over you. When you go to church, they're doing spells over you, all that type of stuff. And I got proof on that too. I know. If I get around you, I'ma know you. I'ma know exactly what you about. You can't hide it. Because it's gonna tell. You can't be in my energy a certain way without it telling you. So you can't fake it. I might fake it with you because I need to know what information is. And I don't need to be fake. I genuinely be courteous about everything and just, genuinely nice. But don't take it like I'm a fool. Just because I'm being nice don't mean I ain't paying attention. Yeah, but be careful, man. When people ask to pray over you, no, man. A real priest is not even going to do that. And I'm gonna say that's my perspective. Cause you got some probably real priests that still traditionally are real, but now it's like a overtake of like fake priests that went to school for this and not anointed to do this type of work. A certificate is gonna get you right with God. Trust me. You still gotta do the work. Just because you went to school for something and got a bachelor's to be a pastor doesn't mean that you're a real pastor or priest. Let me put a correction on that, for real. Because there's been so much facades out here. Shout out to the real ones. And I don't expect them to accept me for who I am. I mean, that's cool. I don't expect anyone to accept me for who I am. That's what makes us different in this world. We have a choice. But you're not going to disrespect a child of God. I know who I am in the spirit. One thing, you hear them signs in the background. I don't tolerate no disrespect. I don't sit here waving my authority around like I'm big almighty or nothing like that. Because that's not my goal. But trust me, I have deep conversations about this. I don't tolerate disrespect. I'm naturally genuine and courteous of everything. So when somebody disrespect me, oh yeah, I'm going straight to a God about that because I'm not doing it. You know my heart, and I don't want to have to get in no conflict about anything with you. So let me go ahead and do this the right way. Whereas Put that paperwork in right there. Put that grievance in. And I'm not tolerating it. And I advise anybody, in the same path, not tolerating the disrespect. I don't give a damn who it is, family member or nothing. It doesn't matter. No one should be disrespectful. And maybe you don't want to address it, but I tell you what, addressing the disrespect is the test. Believe it or not, maybe you don't see it that way. If you don't address that, then you can't level up yourself. And all of this is a test. This experience is a test for you to get to the next level. How can you achieve more from God if you can't level yourself up? These are the things that I went through. And it's a long list of stuff. So I didn't just receive these spiritual gifts just because I was out here being homeless and walking around and, these weird little sayings that people be trying to put on you like they know what's going on. They don't even know themselves though. They know everything about what somebody else doing, but they don't even know themselves, because if they did, they wouldn't be wasting their time. They come and sit there and follow you around, worry about you, but I know myself. That don't even make sense. So stay true to you, man. This world can get tough though. But best believe though, I tell you this, if you really about that, if you stand on spiritual business and, doing the right thing, shit, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Even if you do take certain losses, it's not a loss. Just like anything, you don't have to shed to get new. When you working muscles, you turn new skin. You know what I'm saying? Lose weight. There's little stuff in the clouds right now. I ain't worried about it, but at the same time, that's not my ability. That's not my gift. I don't know how to draw no clouds, and I'm not concerned about anyone trying to paint some false narrative to people. Let's get this straight, man. I'm not concerned about someone painting a false narrative, me painting stuff or drawing stuff in the clouds like I'm demonic or something, man. I'm not concerned with that, because, like, what is this? Child's play? That's not my gift. And they know that, but that's what they do. They know what you're able to do. They follow me around. They test my gifts. I go to the park. They sit around over there and they test my gifts with the water, moving the water and stuff. So it's like, I expect that. And that's why I posted, this is like training to me. And it is, because they're not hurting me. It's some tough training, I ain't gonna lie, because sometimes I be at it all day until I'm about to go to bed. This is not no joke. So, be careful what you ask for. There's so many people that want my gifts, but they ain't want to put the work in. They ain't want to go through all this hard pain and aches and blood, sweat, and tears that I had to endure and grow through. Grew through this. I didn't stay in it. Not bitter, not walking around here like the world is coming to an end. And I think that's what's bothering me the most, though, because if you experience similar stuff and you're still bitter, but you seeing this person happy, it make you probably, if you in that fucked up energy, then it just make you want to go after them. I guess so, but I can't relate to that. My decision decision wasn't based around somebody else. It was based around me because I didn't like the way I felt. I wanted answers. I wanted to make sure that I'm able to do things so I could take care of the ones that love me and I love them. That was my goal. I can't be better for the ones I love if I'm not being better for myself. That don't even make sense. And when we say better, a lot of people apply it different, to each his own. But you should start at your mind first. Start with your mind. Work your mind, and then that's why God said for most people they shouldn't have a job. Now it's hard. I ain't telling you what you should or shouldn't do, but best believe it's called contracts, and that's how you can end up blocking yourself. They can't give you what you rightfully deserve without the growth and actually eliminating things that don't serve you. So, I mean, if you don't put the work in, you don't do the things that to clear your energy and get from around it, how can they give you something? They're not gonna give you something so that people can come in and take it. They're not gonna do it. So I don't know, man. I just never imagined myself being in this situation, and I'm not talking about being homeless, because that's not a problem to me. That's a circumstance. I'm talking about being able to have these gifts and everything. That's what I'm referring to. A lot of people, this is stuff that they make movies about. I mean, sure, it's like, and then you try to demonize me. I'm not worshiping anything, right? Y'all people be around me every day. The people that be around, they come and sit around and all this little weird stuff. Y'all know exactly what I do. So how do I have time to go around and do all this stuff y'all claiming that I'm doing? My tablet is not even wired to be able to fucking change the clouds or whatever the heck this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make sense. Y'all hacking my device, but I'm the one that's with this mastermind device that can change the clouds. That shit is funny, man. I'm sorry. That can change the clouds. And I don't know, man. This shit is comical, though, for real. You can't even really get mad about a lot of this stuff. You really can't. You shouldn't. Yeah, sometimes you will get pissed off because, we have emotions, but make sure you keep them in check so you're not lowering your vibrations so low. And then they'll try to attack you. That's what they want. These people come around me every day, all day. I ain't lying. But they know they ain't fucking with me for real. They know that. That's why they keep trying to go hard. They keep trying new things. They're trying old things. But I'm just getting stronger. The more you challenge me, the more I'm going to take on whatever I choose or God tells me to do. I take it on. And that's how I move, man. You're not going to sit here and dictate when I use my gifts and when I shouldn't. You keep getting in the way, man, then shit's going to get ugly. I'm telling you. Try to be respectful, man. I tell you. If you knew what I knew, you would change. That's all I'm going to say. You would try to get things right, man. It's not a game. Anyone that think they want to go up against what's happening, man, you going to get wiped clean, man. I'm not even playing. I'm not concerned about no human or nothing. What you claim you don't do, yeah, I respect authority because God worked through everybody, but at the same time, I have authority myself on a different level. But my goal is not to be waving it around and abusing it. That's why I have what I have, because I'm not that type of person. I don't know. I just feel like I need to speak a little bit, though. And I'm speaking way more than a little bit. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. But it's been a long time since I even said anything. So I just been working, man. I've been on it, like serious. Eventually it'll be heard, but I don't know everybody's situation out there, but I do feel I pick up on certain people's energy, you know. Just stay focused. Stay focused. And when you feel like there's too much going on, maybe it's time to separate yourself from certain people just to give yourself a chance to actually get your mind together. Don't keep trying to stay around people and trying to fix your problems, because usually that's not going to work. Usually they are the problem. If the problem's not being addressed while you're around certain people, then that's telling you enough right there. Because the person that's really there for you, even if they don't know all the answers, they're going to make sure that you got what you need, or you're in the right direction. And if you're not there and you're still around certain people, man, then that'll tell you enough. Nobody don't have to keep telling you a whole bunch of stuff about somebody that you know. So your feelings shouldn't keep you involved with certain individuals that you know ain't good for you. No matter. I don't care how long I knew you or anything. What's your intentions? Most of the people that I was around most of my life wasn't even around me for the right reasons in the first place, and I didn't even know that shit. People being hired to do stuff for the longest around me, and I didn't know. I'm sitting over here struggling through life, involved with the wrong people. And I ain't gonna lie, I made struggling look good because I still achieved a lot. And I was to the point when I got the house and everything. And I say that like that, I'm not selfish because I was married at the time then. But no, that house is in my name. That was on my credit. And that was a big achievement to me, even though I consider it us at the time. But I look at things differently now. That was an achievement, but once I awaken to like the spiritual side of me, then it just like something sparked so heavy, like my views on achievements. Because it's not just about money, man. Because you can't take any of this stuff with you. But I guarantee you, if you focus and you get your mind together, you're going to unlock some stuff inside of you that you're going to be happy that you actually took the time to do it. These people already know who certain people are. So once they start seeing signs of you awakening to who you are, that's when everything starts. Yeah, there ain't gonna be certain things happening around you at the time, because at the time when you like in the beginning, might not be much even happening. But the more you unlock inside of you, awakening to who you are, oh man, and then you get around the right individuals that can give you the true information. Not none of this fabricated stuff, because there's so many people that claim to be spiritual, claim to be religious, and they're plants. They're put in position to distract people and guide them off in the wrong direction. That's just what they do. But you gotta know how to play the game too. Just because somebody give you information don't mean you run out and just do it. You still gotta take the time to do the research for yourself. That's holding yourself accountable, not just based off of what somebody said and you just did it. That's how I got to where I'm at. It's a lot of people that say a lot of stuff, but me, I listen to how I feel when people say, and I'm a thinker, so I put more into it. So now I'm looking at it like, hold on, so why this and that? And I don't even care if I like you. If it's something not adding up, man, I'm gonna make it make sense, and then I'm gonna make my decision based off of that. And there was a bunch of people that I encountered like that. Not saying they bad people, but they just haven't been on the stages where I've been. That's all. It was meant for me to take a whole different road, make a road actually, because this shit was like going into the woods, in the mountains or something. That's how it felt for me, because it's unknown territory. Can no one tell me how to walk my path or help me like I needed? Now it was certain inklets that helped me create my path. I would say that's the kind of assistance that I received, but it was nothing actually telling me to go this way. I had to figure it out. And I'm so proud of myself too, because it wasn't easy. And then every step I took, it got harder. Then I realized why it was getting harder. Just don't give up, man. Because trust me, they aware. And the more you awaken, the harder it gets. But trust me, if something's easy and all of a sudden you start doing better, you're making better decisions and it gets harder, that's a sign right there. That's mean you're doing something right. All this demonic shit, they let you get away with all that stuff that's easy because you're not investing in yourself correctly. So yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. That's how they see it. You ain't gonna amount to shit. They ain't gonna tell you that, but they gonna dress it up well. But when you take that right path, man, it feel like you done you done walk down the path to hell, but the whole time you coming out of hell and don't realize it. Start waking up to everything around you and just seeing it for what it is. And the more I go hard in it and give the word of my story and try to help others, this is the type of stuff they do right here. This is an example right here. They're doing this in the clouds. Making the little demonic little figures and stuff. It's not as like obvious like it usually is though. But I'm not worried about that, man. These people study how to terrorize people, how to keep them distracted. Because if you're worried about so much, how could you move forward? That's what disturbs them the most about me, because I made it through all their obstacles. Even when I didn't have anything, even when they was blocking my money and all types of stuff, man. Messing with my vehicles. Oh man, come on. And still found a way. And still now, see, this is the thing right here. This has nothing to do with me. This is God. God had to prove a point, but he proves it through me. I'm one of his representatives, so what better way to prove a point? Sending somebody through experiences and watch them come out of that shit. When they think they had control and they had to watch, and they're still watching, come out of all this stuff that was created. I ain't even gonna go too deep because a lot of stuff's still carrying on, and they about to get a boot too. I ain't worried about them either. I'm not even playing. Man, you draw blood from me, and I'm on my path right now and doing everything I'm supposed to do, man. You don't know what's gonna happen. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm not even talking out of pride or none of that. It has nothing to do with that. But they not playing. Mess with somebody on their path, and you gonna regret it. I'm talking about cursing your bloodline, cursing this life, and all types of stuff. People sick, people dying, all types of things will start happening, man. And it's not like I don't glorify this stuff, man. But at the end of the day, when people can't learn their lesson and God's trying to show something to you, God's giving you the opportunity to come up out of the hole that you dug, and you still want to dig deeper, then what else could He do? If you was in that position where you had to make decisions based off of people's actions and behavior and their progress, what are you going to do? You're going to do what you have to do, because overall, you still have an agenda to take care of. So can't get caught up on these little stuff. Stuff got to get moved out the way, because if you in the way and big things supposed to be happening, oh man, it's going to be a lot of stuff happening, like tragic stuff, man. You got too many people that have been getting away for so long, causing problems, and now they reached a point where they're going to keep doing it because they've been doing it for so long. They haven't seen anything different. That's why they always play that little narrative of y'all been waiting on God to come back and blah blah blah. And like I said, man, God is back in the physical. I know that for sure. I ain't even gonna say too much on that. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I know. I don't care what somebody else say. There's a lot of beings that's back that people worship, and they're actually here. They're back in a different body. So I don't care about these people that's solely depending on the book and they're trying to like Bible thump people all day. I'm not talking. I'm not concerned about them. Hopefully, you find something in your heart that'll trigger the right emotions for you to learn something different. Because that's what the problem is. God is trying to talk to you with a real connection, and you still want to hold on to a book when all of that was just passages. It was just a way to help people, but the book is not God. Your connection is God with God. That's the difference. Why you think there's so many different books? Because times change so many different times. So what makes this situation any different? Stuff's still supposed to change, even though there are traditions. Nothing really stays the same because things meant to change. People change. I don't even know who's gonna pay attention to this for an hour and 24 minutes. But that's not even important. You know what I'm saying? I just hope it reached the person that it needs to reach, because I feel like I needed to say something. This is not normal for me. I'm more into my work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. This is work too, but I'm really out here in the field, so I'm more into this work. But when I'm called or feel like I need to actually say something, then I will. And until I'm like actually in a different position, I'm not going to give too much information on here. And I'm cool with that because I didn't expect to really make any money from this anyway. So God got my back on that. So don't let these numbers fool you, because there's way more people that will know what's going on than you assume, and that's God's work. Let the numbers. A lot more people know than they try to make it seem. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and finish enjoying my time. Y'all stay prayed up, and I don't know, man. Listen to your intuition about everything, and don't be afraid of these fools out here. Don't be afraid to do anything different, because I guarantee you, when you start standing up for whatever is right, you're gonna trigger it. If you're not aware of your ancestors, trust me, the day that you stand up is what the day they're gonna get active. They're gonna activate, because now they see that you're serious. Now they gotta go ahead and defend you. Okay. Oh, so you want to do this? Oh, okay. All right. Get such and such over there and defend. No, seriously. That's how it would be. They ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, but you gotta be willing to stand up. Don't get caught up into all the confusion of. Trust me, man. I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say too much. I've been in rooms where I knew that somebody was trying to kill me. I heard them. I've been in situations like that, and to still move confidently around everywhere, not be concerned about what's going to happen or when or anything, and still be here, that's a sign, man. And I already said I done died 5 times physically because of what was done to me, and came back in this life 5 times. And the one time my throat closed up on me at night. It was like late at night, and that was one of the scariest moments in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I wasn't into anything spiritual really at that time, but I just remember waking up and I couldn't breathe. And every time I tried, I felt my esophagus was like locked, and I'm trying not to panic, like. So what I did, because I couldn't breathe anything as much as I tried, I think I just like closed my eyes and I just did like this little pressure thing. You know what? I know exactly what it is. Oh my goodness, man. I just figured something out, man. While I'm talking. That's how they out here killing people and making it look natural. Oh my goodness, man. So they do this little pressure thing where when you're breathing, they suck the air out of you. So every time you breathe and they draw the air down, and it draws down to the stomach, to the point that you have no more air. And if you're asleep like that and you're breathing like that, then your esophagus will close up completely. And I bet there's a bunch of people dead saying they stopped breathing in their sleep. I can guarantee you. So they try to do that to me, and that's one of their ways right now, how they be trying to attack me. And it just dawned on me. It just dawned on me, man. So wow. I don't even really know what else to say. I can't believe I just processed that. Now it really make me think, like, how many people actually died that they did this to, but they do this pressure thing. But let me get back to it. So I closed my eyes when I felt it close up, and I just started praying. I was like thinking hard, praying, and I did this little pressure thing, and I broke it free, and next thing you know, I was breathing again, and I don't know, man. I think I just used my intuition on it, because something was telling me to do that. was done to me on a lot of cases. That's not the only stuff. I don't know anybody else's story, man. Hopefully you don't have to experience that much to know, which way you want to go or who's in your life that shouldn't be in your life. Hopefully you don't have to go that far. I don't regret anything that I went through because apparently it had to happen for a reason. If I wasn't supposed to be here, I would have been dead by now. I've been poisoned, and my organs was shutting down. And this is when I was working before I left my job that I was talking about to be continued, but I was poisoned from what people understand me. I just remember my eyes changing colors, white in my eyes and everything. Like my organs was shutting down bad. But I went into like healing, doing like flushing my system and everything. But when I went to get my the DOT card to drive a large vehicle, they was like, the doctor said, yeah, it's a lot of white blood cells in your urine. And I didn't understand what that was. I still didn't at the time, but he was like, that's a little concerning. And then he said he found like a little THC or something. I was like, hey, I don't even smoke. So that was, at the time, the guardian I was with, she smoked in the house, but it shouldn't be in my system like that, I was thinking. But yeah, I should have been dead too right there when my organs was shutting down. And I done came up out of that. It was to the point, like, a reader, she spoke to the situation. She was like, she could actually see around the organ where it's like crystallizing, but it's trying to heal. And when it started releasing this stuff, I have to pee it out. So sometimes it was burning, even though like that shit is like healed over now. My body can heal that over, but that's what it was meant to do. It was meant to hit certain organs and crystallize it and freeze it up. Yep. So after you experience so much like this, man, you don't be too concerned about a lot of other stuff that's moving forward. I said this little thing in a freestyle. I was just messing around, and what did I say? I said still pushing forward with the pressure on my back. Yeah. And I stopped and I was like, dang. I was like, that's deep. Because even when you go through your experiences and you let it go and everything, the pressure will still be there, but how you allow it to push you or apply the pressure on you, it's on you. I allow it to build me. So I took what was thrown at me and I built something stronger to protect me. I protect myself, but I build an armor around me from what they was throwing at me. So that pressure on my back, that's a memory of all the encounters that built my strength. Pressure is not always a bad thing. Once you realize how to maneuver it around, make it apply right. But now let me get up off of here. I know it's a lot of people watching me, and they probably like, man, I'm not gonna say nothing, man. I ain't gonna have these people fucking with me, and I respect that. If that's how you feel, then that's cool, man. I'm not, you know, I know what it is. And I can't even blame you. Can't even call it anything, man. All respect. Let's be real, though. Pay attention to the ones that surround you. I don't care who they are. If you really want to be somebody different in your life and be who you need to be, bring balance to everything. Don't just be selective. Hold everybody accountable around you. That doesn't mean, tear them down. I mean, when they're doing something wrong, you address them. You shouldn't be out here in 2026 being around people that's doing nonsense in the streets and everything, and we are just accepting it because of who they are. Nah, you did something. Nah, that shit ain't right, man. Why are you doing it? You need to start holding people accountable for if they around us. If they not holding themselves accountable, then you can't deal with them. That's how you hold them accountable. Why are you accepting something around you that's not even good for you and then expect it to be good to you? On that note, I'm out.